Some weekends, this is the one place you want to be. Some weekends, like to be out and about. This weekend was a very long weekend. Moralgamer. I'm gonna play Sonic Lost World, and you, our lovely audience, I would appreciate it if you would do your part, support me, make your Amazon purchases through the support link below. That's what helps me out the most. Because if you do that, you're doing something you'd normally do. I get just a little bit to keep going because, quite frankly, YouTube ads just ain't cutting it anymore. I mean, they really screwed up the content matching and everything, and even though I had rights to monetize certain things, uh, you get people that are screwing things up. You get UMG, the Universal Music Group, who is always trying to claim crap, and it's like, you know what? Mr. Mrs. Universal Music Group, I don't care. Um, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Am I actually? Let me refresh this page. It doesn't look like I'm actually streaming here. Um, but I don't care. Okay, Mr. Mrs. Universal Music Group. What I'm doing actually falls under fair use because, well, quite frankly, what I'm doing is um, I'm not necessarily reselling your content, but what I actually am doing is I'm selling me. I'm selling me. If you guys like the way I come, you like the way I play, you like my style, you like my insight. That's what I'm trying to give. And there actually is under fair use, reasonable if you're doing critiques and stuff like that to use select amounts. But hey, you get the Fine Brothers and whatnot. They're doing their thing, and with the Fine Brothers, they don't get fined or anything. They don't get slack. Okay, whatever. YouTube, you screwed it up. You screwed it up. Speaking of screwed up, let's get the game started up here. By the way, um, speaking of screwed up, we get to find out Tuesday. Tuesday, we find out whether we're screwed or not. And I've been following the politics and everything, and I find it very interesting um, that we have two interesting candidates coming up. Uh, one one is a career politician who's got scandals going back to Benghazi. The other is is a an entrepreneur who has who basically has tons and tons and tons of question. Oh, I see. Tons and tons and tons of questionable interactions going back to, oh, Lord knows when. So, does America face the potential of a sexual harassment suit from Prime Minister of whatever? Or do we put somebody in office who's got scandal after scandal after scandal? It's a no-win situation, and for me, I'll tell you right now, I'm independent. I don't like either party.
Something you should trouble yourself with.
Oh, that's my political rant. Vote, 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 and vote once. And if you catch any zombies voting, headshot. I got family members that are dead. Gonna vote, and then make sure they don't vote. You sitting outside the graveyard, tell you what, get all medieval on them. Say, Grandpa, you stay in that there ground. Okay, maybe not. Hey! Whatever. You mean I don't get to fight Wendy Okupa? Ah. that works.
Youth is truly wasted on the young. Hey, speed cannot defeat wisdom, little hedgehog.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Youth is wasted on the young. Trust me. Oh, snap. Trust me when I say this. As someone who just had a birthday,
This little seedling
the older you get, the more you learn, the more you realize what's really important. And yes, playing games and stuff like that is fun, but I will admit there are deeper things in life. Oh, snap. So, having a balanced life is what it really is all about. You know, balance work, balance family, balance life. Hey, look, it's Sonic 3D Blast, guys. What the? You're kidding me. Come on, come on. I hate watermelon. I really do. Come on. There it goes, and come on, in there. Sure.
My skills are sharper than your words, brash one. Your insults cannot penetrate my thick, wrinkled skin. Light water, certain moisturizers.
What am I supposed to be going towards? Your color has been depleted.
Prepare to be tested, young one.
Mini boss. Come on, dude. sure. I hear something. I just don't see it. I wish I could actually pan this. If it wasn't for having the speakers on, I'd have no clue where this guy is. Zone 2. All right. Okay, cool. Ah, jeez. Underwater. Go. Gotta go faster.
And he's more powerful than I anticipated. He shows much potential.
Thanks,
Who
Yoda.
cares about him? Now that I'm free, I want to squeeze Eggman till he pops.
And eat him, I suppose.
Well, yeah. There are better ways to make him suffer.
Thank you.
What, more delicious?
What would you say if I told you we could destroy Eggman's world and use its energy to make ourselves unbelievably powerful?
Well, I would say that I had taught you well.
I'd say go on.
And it will be Eggman's own creation that causes his destruction.
Of course it will. That dude looks like the saddest slob I've ever seen. Hey, it's Sonic Riders. Oh. Okay, so here we go. I hope it's all on the rail, because I'm liking the rail. I mean, it's a nice change of pace. Okay, this is actually not a bad level so far. Okay. I mean, it's the other levels are just kind of like meh, whatever. Why didn't you go to it, dude? Do I actually have to jump to it? Oh, jeez. It's green. minecarts? Where are the minecarts? Thank you, minecarts. I actually have to jump through those? Oh, that blows. One, two, three. Okay. Loop-de-loop. So funny thing about the Sega Genesis, and I was just having this conversation with a friend. Most people think that the Super Nintendo was the more powerful system. It actually depends on what you're talking about. And this is similar to the argument I put forth. Who was it? Sony released that statement saying, oh, well, we're going to have the PlayStation running. PlayStation's going to run, what is it? Two 8-bit commands, while the Xbox One is running only one 32-bit or something like that, right? I don't get gold out of that? Come on! But people are like, well, 2 is better than 1, so Microsoft's going to be slower. Well, not necessarily. And this is what Sega did. So Sega had 2 8-bit processors in their Genesis, right? And those 2 8-bit processors allowed you to actually run Sonic the Hedgehog in games with faster frame rates than the Super Nintendo, which only had one 16-bit processor. But now, if you're shoving 8-bit or anything less than a 16-bit process through a 16-bit pipe, you know, yes, it can only process it at the speed of the processor. But if you have 2 8-bit pipes and the max you're sending through is 8-bit processes, you're going to send commands through a whole lot faster because you can send 2 commands simultaneously. 2 8-bit commands down that. It's the whole highway analogy I use when I explain to customers. You know, if your processors are your lanes in the highway, you can get more traffic through at maybe a slower speed, 45 miles an hour, than you can at 70 miles an hour, you know, when you're sending in, you know, 1, 2 cars, whatever. So it's just a matter of what you're sending through and if it's actually worth it. But yeah, so it's all architecture, guys. It's all architecture. So do I think the PlayStation's going to be better than the Xbox One? No. Do I think it's going to be worse? No. I think it's up to the programmers what they do. Because we still have a lot of applications. We have 64-bit processors, guys. And a lot of our applications are still 32-bit. Think about that for a moment. Think about that. So even though, like, I'm running a 64-bit Windows 10. Unfortunately, it's Windows 10. But that's another story. So I'm running 64-bit Windows 10, and the thing is that even though it's 64-bit Windows 10, it's not necessarily going to run a 32-bit application a whole lot better than just a standard, you know, just a standard 32-bit. Now, granted, yes, it's going to multitask a little better, but that's another story. But again, if all you're sending through, it's like, what was it? Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is a 32-bit application. Most people don't realize that you don't get better performance out of it. You don't get better performance out of it in a 64-bit environment with multi-core and all that other stuff, because it's not a memory intensive app. Now though, if you're talking like what is it? If you're talking like say Skyrim or something. Skyrim, I believe Skyrim actually has a 64-bit version, if I'm not mistaken. But if you're talking something like that, I mean, that's where you'd actually see a benefit. You have access to more RAM, you have access to more... I kind of lost what I was talking about. Why didn't you target him, you stinking blue yachts? Is he like in the point where he doesn't target these guys anymore? So I'm supposed to go there. Yeah. I can't turn.
I believe you youngsters refer to a beating as being schooled. In that case, class is in session.
I will say though, one fun thing I've gotten so far this weekend for my birthday, I got a drone, one of those quadcopter drones. Those are actually fun to fly. If you're a gamer, I mean, it'll be pretty intuitive.
Like a spiny blue weed.
'Cause after all, what do gamers do? We freaking play games. Yeah. We're used to dual stick and everything, and mine actually is supposed to... it's a, I should do a review on it at some point. Ah, jeez. It's the, whatchamacallit. It's the Eagle Pro. It's, not a bad one, actually. I want to get one of the uber professional ones, the ones that are actually like $1,000, stuff like that. I want to get one of those at some point because those are actually a lot of fun to play. And those ones, the one I have right now, you have to fly it. The more expensive it gets, the more you have to do. The more expensive it gets, the less you have to do, like, as far as, Arrgh. They'll fly themselves. I mean, the less you pay, the less you pay. You have to make sure you got your right yaw, get your right pitch, you know. And mine will, mine actually rolls a little bit, but I mean, because I'm a gamer, I've learned how to deal with roll. I've learned how to deal with roll in anything, because stupid crap. Koopa shells. Whatever. I don't want to screw this. Try again. It's like being in kindergarten. Get. Thank you. But yeah, so it's cool. You get used to this stuff. Jeez. Can't I just run into Echo the Dolphin?
Battle once more. I feel like I'm 100 years old again. When I'm finished, I'll go clubbing.
Oh, I don't have to go back? You're not gonna screw me
Your
over?
lesson begins now.